We welcome you live to Dennis O. Martin Memorial Field here at Bloomington High School North here in Bloomington, Indiana, where it's week 2 of the high school football season in the great state of Indiana. And tonight, it's a battle of the Cougars. You got Greenfield Central coming in 1-0 against Bloomington North 0-1. Glad you could join us for North Cougar Football on Smithville TV. I am Nick Jenkinson alongside the birthday boy, Quinn Saturday. Quinn, happy birthday to you. Tonight we've got two teams in an interesting matchup. You got Greenfield Central coming off a win against Eastern Hancock 28-14, and you got Bloomington North opening up the season with a 42-17 loss against number 2, now number 1 this week, Columbus East.
Yeah, usually when you lose 42-17 to start the season, there's not many positives, but considering what Bloomington North had to go through last year and the level of competition that Columbus East offered, it's actually a fairly promising start to the season.
As you look at the Greenfield Central Cougars making the hour-and-a-half drive down from Greenfield. Greenfield's located about 20 miles east of Indianapolis, just off Interstate 70. So not a long bus trip for these guys, but their first time here in Bloomington. These teams have only met 2 times. September 11, 1998, Bloomington North won 20-7, and then last year, August 27th, Greenfield Central won 52-35, and that was where Bloomington North actually had to make 2 trips because they couldn't get on the field. They went up there Friday night. Weather caused the game to be moved to Saturday evening, and they had to make the trip back to Greenfield. So tonight, weather not an issue. Temperatures have been in the mid-70s all day. Sunny skies, and we're going to have a great night here for football. Again, you look at Greenfield Central. They're coached by Adam Sherman. He's 7-5 in his second year at the school, 6-5 in 2016. They lost last year in the sectional semifinals to Delta 42-21. But this is a team that hasn't had a lot of success in the last several years, just 4 winning seasons since 1994. But Coach Sherman I was talking to one of the Greenfield Central assistant coaches here a little bit ago, and he said that Coach Sherman is used to the college atmosphere. He was an assistant for Marian University and NAIA school in Indianapolis, so he brings that college kind of coaching experience to this Greenfield Central ball club.
Yeah, sometimes when you go from a higher level to a lower level, sometimes you're able to bring that experience and help those teams down in the lower level.
So as we talk about Greenfield Central's game last week against Eastern Hancock, 28-14, that's a rivalry game up there. Eastern Hancock, a 2A school, Greenfield Central, a 5A school. They're just down the road from each other, about 5-10 miles apart. A very emotional game last week because Eastern Hancock was honoring a kid, Riley Settergren, who was actually killed in an car wreck in July. So both sides wore T-shirts with his number 30. The Greenfield Central players actually have a patch on their helmets in honor of the kid, and they have a moment of silence for the kid. But they're going to be led by a kid named Braden Brown. Last week, 18 carries, 101 yards, 2 TDs. You'll have Andrew Leslie as a passer. He was 9 for 21, 143 yards, a touchdown, interception. And you're going to see Mike Hoskins as a receiver, 5 carries for 67 yards, or 5 catches for 67 yards and a touchdown. So this is a team that's going to be very balanced attack. As you see the North Cougars coming out on the field.
We're going to moving away from the first game of the season where we had Edgewood versus Mitchell, where we was just run. You're going to see a nice mix of the run and the pass this week from both teams.
Yeah, you see the North Cougars coming out on the field with the gold helmets. I like this. This is the first time they've had the gold helmets, kind of the throwback Arizona State look.
I was just about to say, this looks very Sun Devilish.
So I like it with the gold or the maroon pants and jerseys and the gold helmets. That will be a sight. Greenfield Central, they'll be in the white with blue helmets and yellow pants. So a very interesting matchup. But quickly talking about Bloomington North, Logan Calvin's gone on the defense. But Ben Friel, the quarterback, is still back. And last week he had a good day as he threw for 95 yards and a touchdown on 8 of 12 passing, but had 2 interceptions as well, or 8 of 18.
Yeah, Friel what really caught on near the end of last year. We even talked about it. So he had a lot of poise and composure in the pocket, and was willing to stay back there and take the hit if it meant being able to deliver the long throw. And his number one target is still there in Jordan McCoy.
Yeah, Jordan McCoy last week caught a touchdown pass against Columbus East. But Columbus East is, of course, loaded. Jordan McCoy last week, 79 yards receiving for the Cougars. So, you know, the running game is your question. You've got Xavier Trueblood, who had 63 yards with a touchdown. Of course, some guys not back last year. Logan Calvin, a defensive and lineman, he has graduated. Deland McCullough is also gone. He has moved away to California. His dad was an assistant coach for Kevin Wilson at Indiana University, now a head coach at USC, assistant at USC, as we are getting ready to honor America with the national anthem.
And join the Bloomington North marching band with the playing of our national anthem.
As the national anthem has been played, we are set for football here in Bloomington as the Bloomington North Cougars, coached by Scott Bless, 53-79, 13 years at the school, 68-109 in his 18th year overall. He's had 4 winning seasons here at Bloomington North, 2 500 seasons, 2 sectional titles in 2010 and 2013, and also won the 2010 regional championship. But Quinn, they were 0-10 last year, lost to Bloomington South 38-0 in the Class 5A sectional semifinals. Streaks are on the line tonight. They have a 12-game losing streak. Their last win came against Terre Haute South in Terre Haute, 21-17, October 16, 2015. They also have a 10-game home game losing streak. Their last win here was 18-14, August 28, 2015. So about 2 years ago, as you see Greenfield Central coming out on the field, and that mentioned that Bedford game. That was a game we had here on Smithville TV. So the Bloomington North Cougars hoping to break those streaks tonight.
If I recall correctly, was that the goal line stand game?
Yes, it was.
So that was it required a goal line stand for North to be able to win that game right at the end. But even though they've had a losing streak while we've been broadcasting them, they have made things interesting and have kept in some games. So it'll be let's not call it a curse.
No, it should be a good one tonight as you see the captains coming out to midfield for the coin toss. As, again, a beautiful night for football here in Bloomington. Temperatures mid-70s all day today, as these teams will meet for the third time, second year in a row. And the reason is that a couple years ago, Bedford North Lawrence and Bloomington North played in week 2. Well, Bedford dropped Bloomington North, and both these schools were looking for an opponent. So they signed a 2-year deal, home and away. So Greenfield Central making the return trip to Bloomington, their first visit here, and next year, Bloomington North and Bedford North Lawrence will resume their rivalry. So this is just a 1-2-year deal between these two schools. Maybe down the road they'll meet up again. They're both in Class 5A, so at some point if they get farther, they can possibly meet up down the road in the state tournament. So as you see Scott Bliss getting ready with his team, and it looks like the Cougars are going to receive, and back deep will be number 9 Nathan Jenkins and number 8 Xavier Trueblood. So we will see Bloomington North get the ball first, as Greenfield Central going to kick off. Number 9 is Cole Pierce, 5'11" senior for Greenfield Central. So glad you could join us for week 2 of the high school football season here in Indiana. First time we're getting a look at Bloomington North this season, as we were at Edgewood last week. Edgewood fell to Mitchell 36-7. And week 2 is underway. There is the kick. It is going to go to Jenkins. He muffs it. He picks it up about the 12-yard line. Got a couple breaks through and out to about the 43-yard line.
That's an excellent start for, I was going to say the Cougars. Both teams are called the Cougars in this game, so we will be referring to them solely as Greenfield and Bloomington, or Central and North. But that was an excellent start for Bloomington North, from a muffed kick return all the way up to the 44-yard line.
As we get a look at Ben Friel, the junior, 5'10", 170 pounds. Of course, Friel's been really in a chance, been really starting since he was a freshman. In the shotgun, and we're going to have movement. Looks like Greenfield jumped off, but it is against the Greenfield Central 5-yard penalty.
Got a little over anxious.
So it's at the 48-yard line. So good field position for Bloomington North to start this game.
Yep, same thing.
You'll have Friel in the shotgun. You got trips to the far side of your screen. And Friel's going to take it, but he's going to get immediately taken down in the backfield by Mike Hoskins, number 22. We'll see him as a wide receiver. Hoskins 5'10" and a senior.
That was an excellent job by Hoskins. That was a one-on-one situation. If he misses that tackle, then Friel has a first down.
As ball is at the 47. So a loss of a yard. 2nd and 6.
Gun pro. Look for the power. Look for the option.
2 in the back, 2 wide receivers.
There it is.
And that is going to be the read option handoff to Xavier Trueblood. Xavier gets past the first down marker as North moves the chains.
Excellent option, right? And Trueblood, as I said, the workhorse out of the backfield in week 1 has a nice first run to this game.
So the ball's at the 42, the North End Greenfield Central territory. Gain of 14 for Trueblood. Had a touchdown last week against Columbus East.
Look for the run.
As they're going to throw it, Friel screen pass intended for 33 Levi Mikulich, and that was incomplete.
Their flood.
Had a lot of air underneath that pass. Luckily for Bloomington North, no one else was in there, or else that would have been an easy interception.
Friel last week again had 2 interceptions. Last week against Columbus East scored 15 in the first quarter with the Cougars shut out. 2nd and 10 at the 42.
We're in triple.
Trips to the bottom of your screen. Friel shotgun. You're going to see a shotgun all night. Friel quick throw complete to Jenkins, and Jenkins gets past the 30-yard line.
That was something that we saw a lot towards the end of last season, was the use of the screen passes, and we're seeing that carry over into this season.
Jenkins gets the first down, a 12-yard pass for Friel, and a fresh set of downs for Bloomington North.
You'll see a lot. McCullough used to be that screener. Now it looks like Jenkins is going to fill that role.
And now you're going to see a wildcat,
Option.
and that's his 24 Zynel Nixon, and he's going to take it himself and get up the middle.
Play most of the time.
And the official fell down,
Got it.
and I think is tying his shoe. So Nixon gains 4, 2nd and 6 at the 26. We didn't see a lot of the wildcat last year with Bloomington North.
No, this is definitely a new wrinkle in the offense, and so far it is working.
Nixon will stay in the wildcat. Friel's going to come across the middle, and he kind of bobbles it, and he throws it incomplete. Was intended for 48 Isley Nixon, and he'll bring up a 3rd down.
Wasn't executed properly, but that had the makings of a beautiful play, the way that they had that set up. Unfortunately, the exchange kind of forced Friel to have to force the pass a little bit off balance, which caused the incomplete pass.
As you see, Bowen Murphy coming into the game, 13, 3rd and 6 now at the 26. Friel back at quarterback, going in the shotgun. And it will be a handoff to Xavier Trueblood. He's going to get past the first down marker inside the 20 as Bloomington North is in the red zone.
Simple off tackle right, but wait, we do have a flag on the play.
So a flag on the play. As waiting for no official signal yet. Again, no signal indicating. You see the official on the far side talking to Coach Sherman. Scott Bless is down here at the bottom of the screen waiting for the call. And it's a personal foul on Bloomington North.
It looks like it was some after the whistle foul on Bloomington North. So a beautiful run and a drive that has so much momentum is now getting backed up. And these are the kinds of mistakes that we have seen during this losing streak, where they have a good start and then they end up shooting themselves in the foot.
1st and 25 at the 32. So you see Shirani and Trueblood in the back with Friel.
Got to get this corner.
As 2 wide receivers.
Jenkins all the way down on the bottom.
And it will be Friel on the keeper. He goes up the middle. Friel's got space. It's a race to the end zone, and he gets there. Touchdown, North. Ben Friel with the touchdown run from 32 yards out, and the Bloomington North is on the board.
I didn't get to really praise the blocking on that last, the blocking on the previous first down run, but we got to see it again here. Excellent job, just an option play, and the blockers literally opened up a huge hole for Friel, and he turned on the Jets.
As they will have the swinging gate. Friel also does the kicking for Bloomington North as he hit a field goal last week against Columbus East. So Friel going to try to tack on the extra point. Kick is up, and it is good, and Bloomington North leads 7-0. So 9:06 to go, and an excellent start for Bloomington North as they go down and score on the first possession.
One thing on an option run is that sometimes you want to try to get outside as fast as you can, but sometimes the way that the holes develop, there are those holes like in between the tackles that if you're able to get those, and then as they come to you, then you can bounce out to the outside. That's what Friel did on that play, and it worked to perfection, able to get enough space and separation to get the touchdown.
So 8:56 here to go as the Bloomington North Cougars on the board. The first time that Bloomington North has scored in the first quarter this year. They trailed Columbus East 15-0 last week after one. And now we will see Greenfield Central on their first offensive possession. That was a 7-play drive, 7 plays for Bloomington North. So it will be taken by the Greenfield Central Cougars. This is number 6, Jaden Brown. He is past midfield. There is a flag, and it's probably coming back as Jaden Brown will get to the end zone, but hold on. And it is way back
at
there,
the 20-yard line.
At the 20. So, as you see, both teams heading back toward the 20.
I just kind of feel bad for him to have to do all that effort to get that touchdown and then just say, oh, no, you're actually going to be in the opposite red zone.
And that was a block in the back against Greenfield Central. So this will be a 1st and 10 for the Greenfield Central Cougars, as we're going to see Andrew Leslie, number 5, 6'1", 200-pound senior, and the ball will be on the 10-yard line. So Leslie will operate the offense.
But Braden Brown is going to be the person that you're going to want to look at for that the running back in the backfield. Yeah, he's going to be someone that they're going to shadow the entire game.
Braden Brown wears 21. Also look for Mike Hoskins, 22, as their top receiver. Leslie is going to hand it off to number 29. There's a spin move, and he gets out past the 15-yard line. That is Chase Ratliff with the run.
Funny, excellent job of using both of those players as decoys on the nice jet sweep to the left that ended up getting a nice chunk of yardage on first down.
Ratliff, one of the guys that did not get any carries last week, so his first carry of the season, good for 7 yards, 2nd and 3. And there is the handoff as Braden Brown, we see him carry it for the first time, wears 21, and he gets out to the 19-yard line. 3rd and 1 for Greenfield Central. So far, 2 running plays for Greenfield Central. 3rd and 1. It's a man in motion, and it is a run, and that is 1st down yardage for number 44, Turk Fatelli. And that will be the 1st down, gain of 4 for Greenfield Central. You talked about we saw a lot of run last week with Mitchell. Well, so far 3 run plays for Greenfield Central as well.
Though I do expect a pass soon.
Fatelli again up the middle for the run. 4th straight running play.
Yeah, I would have thought that interesting to go for the running play. I thought maybe a play action there, but now we're at 2nd and 9. Now they're kind of forced into a passing situation. Will be very interesting playing with a long field because the first play got them a short down in distance for 2nd down.
Gain of 1. And here comes Leslie, throws it over the middle. It is complete for number 23. That is Orlando Mahica.
That was a bullet by Leslie, and I think Mahica caught that back shoulder, I think.
And that is a gain of 10, and that's good enough for a Greenfield Central 1st down. Leslie last week, 9 of 21, 143 yards, a touchdown and an interception. That is a handoff to Braden Brown, number 21.
The defensive line for Bloomington North got the advantage at the line of scrimmage. Basically, 2 players already tried to take Brown down in the backfield, but Brown was able to make them miss and get back to the line of scrimmage and gain a yard.
Gain to the 36, a gain of 2 for Brown. Last week, 101 yards and 2 touchdowns against Eastern Hancock. Again, the clock keeps moving. Leslie under center, shotgun, and there is 21 is Braden Brown, and he gets it out past the 40-yard line. So we see a lot of runs for the Greenfield Central.
You can already tell from Brown that he's the type of running back who loves contact and likes to shake off contact.
6 of 7 plays so far for Greenfield Central have been running plays. 3rd and 2 at the 42. And it will be a run, but he gets stuffed at the 40-yard line. Bloomington North not fooled that time as Braden Brown got stuffed for a loss.
A much improved run defense for Bloomington North. Won more than half of the battles during that first drive.
So that drops them for a loss of 1. 4th and 3, they're going for it at the 41. Leslie looks like Leslie was brought down in the backfield, and it is a turnover on downs.
I think that was a smart play by Leslie. I think he saw his receiver was caught up, and instead of trying to force it and maybe losing grip of the ball and fumbling it, or trying to force a pass, he decided to just take the loss. He decided just to take the sack right there.
So Bloomington North will take over at the 39 in Greenfield Central territory.
Look for a pass play.
Friel under center. He's going to drop back. He's going to throw one for Jordan McCoy. 1-on-1, and he drops it.
That was a little underthrown, but McCoy still almost came up with it. But that was an excellent defense by the cornerback to be with him the entire way.
And we saw a lot of this last year, Quinn, where Friel loves to throw that, kind of take 1 or 2 steps back and kind of throw that floater to the corner.
Yeah, on the route tree, that's called the 9 route, the go route. You just keep going until the ball ends into in your hands.
Watch your option.
2nd and 10 at the 39. Friel in the shotgun.
There it is. Set
And
the
it
edge,
is
Morris,
going to
set the
go
edge.
to
Damn it,
Xavier
Morris.
Trueblood, number 8. There's a flag as Trueblood gets to the 31.
I've been very impressed so far with the option blocking from Bloomington North. Specifically on option plays, they have always hit their assignments so far, but they did get a holding call on that play.
Yeah, it's a holding on the on Bloomington North. I got to catch myself because both teams are the Cougars. So got to catch myself.
If you just say holding on the Cougars, you're never wrong because it's going to be on the Cougars.
But that is going to bring them back 10 yards to the 49.
Maybe that's why they don't play each other very often, because it's confusing.
Could be. Also because they're an
Triple,
hour
triple,
and a
triple,
half
triple,
apart
triple.
from each other as well.
Hustle, triple. We got nothing.
Friel,
Where's our
shotgun,
Damn it.
2nd and 20,
We got lucky.
and that
Yeah,
is,
we got lucky.
he got knocked down out of bounds. That was number 17, Dalton Pebworth, the junior for Greenfield Central.
That was
Third and long.
there was a huge hole right there, and the linebacker took advantage of that and basically caused what could have been a huge play for the offense into a huge play for the defense.
Personnel, look for 3 verts.
So 3rd and 20, still at the 49. As you see, McCoy top of your screen, Murphy bottom of your screen, along with Jenkins going to be in motion. And it is Friel on the keeper. Friel trying to get to the bounce outside, and he gets to the 40-yard line. Tackled by number 6, Braden Brown.
Very similar design to the touchdown run, but there was a lot less room. There was a lot less room that they could work with, and Friel ended up getting taken down at the original line of scrimmage. But overall, after kind of getting pushed around in that first drive, this was an excellent response by the Greenfield Central defense.
Friel will punt, and he gets it away. And they're going to down it, friendly bounce down to about the 7-yard line. So Greenfield Central will get the possession, trailing 7-0 with 3:28 to go here in quarter number 1. So the Greenfield Central defense comes up with a big 3 and out.
As I mentioned, they were getting pushed around in that first drive, and they kind of started pushing back. It all helped on the missed assignment on the offensive line and that linebacker blitz that was able to stop that Friel's pass, kind of ruined the momentum of the Bloomington North offense.
So it's a 1st and 10 at the 7. Leslie.
The backside, I think they were just basing it up.
Now we're going to have a
Delay
stoppage
of game.
play, delay of game. So half the distance inside the 5-yard line. Leslie in the end zone rolling out, and that is incomplete. As looks like Mike Hoskins, the intended receiver, brings up a 2nd and 14.
Short, kind of, when it was a little short on the comeback route, forcing the receiver to have to dive there, and incomplete pass.
Again, give Bloomington North credit so far for their defense. Of course, the Braden Brown kick return for a touchdown negated by a penalty. Leslie throws it on the kind of a comebacker to Orlando Mahica, and he gets knocked out of bounds. So gonna bring a third down. And that was a pass of 2 yards. So 3rd and 11 for the Cougars. Last year, Bloomington North had a really tough time stopping teams on 3rd down.
Yeah, I believe it took, I think they went like 5 or 6 games without forcing a punt.
Yes, as well. So here we go, 3rd down. Leslie got to throw it. It's got a man wide open, but it was bobbled, and then a flag flies. That was for Chase Ratliff. Incomplete. But it looks like this is going to go against, I think, Bloomington North. No indication yet. Here comes the call. I mean, Ratliff had that right in his breadbasket, and that is against Bloomington North. Personal foul penalty.
And that's going to be a 1st down.
Oh. That'll bring him up to the 21-yard line.
I'm not sure, but I think that might have been hit on a defenseless receiver since it was being bobbled. I think that's my best guess. We don't know for sure.
Second personal foul penalty on Bloomington North in the game. There is the run for 23. Orlando Mahica with the run. He gets to the 20-yard line. So a loss of a yard. So far the front 7 of Bloomington North doing a very good job.
Yeah, the defensive line has won the matchup so far with the offensive line of Greenfield Central.
2nd and 11 at the 20. Leslie going to fire, complete, past the 1st down marker is Mike Hoskins. Jordan McCoy in on the tackle. He gets it to the 30, but he's short of the 1st down. So a 9-yard pass.
Oh, wait. Okay. Damn it.
So 3rd and 1 at the 30.
Gotcha.
Man in motion. This is going to be Turk Fatale, and he's stuffed again by the line behind the line of scrimmage.
Excellent anticipation by the Bloomington North defense. They anticipated the snap count and sent 3 linebackers right in there. There was no way, unless they pitched it out to the outside, that was going to go anywhere.
So he lost it 2, and that brings up the 4th down at the 28. Greenfield Central going to punt as Nathan Jenkins and number 6, Cole Prather, back deep for Bloomington North.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
So Greenfield Central will punt this away.
We need one more. Damn it.
As looks like it will be a delay of game on Greenfield Central. Player ran onto the field late. So it's a 5-yard penalty. Brings them 4th and 8 at the 24. So they're going to punt it away. This will get to midfield. Jenkins just muffed it, and Bloomington North recovers.
That definitely made Coach Bless's heart skip a beat there.
And that was Bowen Murphy who jumped on it for Bloomington North. So Bloomington North will take over at the 46.
So far, the field position battle has been dominated by Bloomington North, going from the 10-yard line of Greenfield Central to the 40-yard line of Bloomington North.
And this is number 8, Xavier Trueblood, with the carry. He gets out past the first down marker as they're going to move the chains.
I've been very impressed with Trueblood so far. Especially on option runs, he really has an eye for knowing exactly where his blockers are and letting his blockers lead the way.
As that was a good run for Bloomington North at the
Watch our power read.
At the 44-yard line. Friel shotgun.
There it is.
That will be the handoff to the outside. Is by Xavier Trueblood. So gain of 6 brings up a 2nd and 4 at the 44.
That was a great job of pulling 6 yards out of nothing. The way that he was contained out there, able to bounce to the outside and also gain a little bit of traction from them.
As looks like Bloomington North going to let this first quarter roll off here, as they will go to the second quarter. So your first quarter score, Bloomington North 7, Greenfield Central 0 here on Smithville TV.
Welcome to Technology Powered by Smithville. Let our welcoming and friendly staff help you with your technology needs. Stop by to get Smithville Cellular Extra plans on the latest devices. Get routers and tech products at great prices. Plus, if you're a Smithville customer, you can pay your bill and change services. Come see us at the Clear Creek Crossing Plaza or check us out at smithville.com/technology. Technology Powered by Smithville, Bloomington's communications and tech store.
We welcome you back to Dennis O. Martin Memorial Field here at Bloomington High School North, as Bloomington North leads Greenfield Central 7-0 as we get ready for the second quarter of play. Glad you could join us for North Cougar football on Smithville TV. I am Nick Jenkinson alongside Quinn Saturday. And Quinn, that was Ben Friel's 32-yard touchdown run with 8:56 to go in the first quarter has been the difference so far, as Bloomington North gets their first touchdown in the first quarter of 2017.
The main difference for this game so far has been the line of scrimmage battle has been won on both sides by Bloomington North. On the offense side, the option has been able to run wild and able to find holes. And then on the defensive end, the running game has been stuffed in the backfield almost a handful of times.
As it's a 2nd and 4 at the 38, and there is the Wildcat with Zynel Nixon. He's trying to get to the outside, and he breaks a couple tackles past the 40-yard line, gets down to about the 36.
It's always risky when you decide to bounce to the outside because you're running horizontal instead of vertical. You're trying to find that open hole, but at the same time you're making no progress.
Ball at the 37. Friel's going back under center. 2 receivers, 2 in the back. Gonna drop back, gonna try to find Jordan McCoy, but overthrows McCoy, incomplete. So he overthrew Jordan McCoy, and that's a 4th and 3, and it looks like the Bloomington North going to go for it.
That pass was let go a little too soon. An excellent awareness by the cornerback again. He jammed McCoy a little bit so that he had no chance to even recover for that. Excellent job by the defensive back.
You might be seeing a screen here. You never know.
So 4th and 3 at the 37. Bloomington North going for it. Two running in the back,
They like to run option
two
out of this.
receivers.
There it is.
There's the option, and the ball is loose. Who has it?
Way to go.
Well, it doesn't really matter. Ball is loose, and it's a turnover on downs to Greenfield Central. So
I'm surprised they didn't take advantage of Nathan Jenkins being wide open on that left side. If they would have thrown a screen to him right there, he would have picked up the first down easily.
So Greenfield Central's defense comes up big. Now 1st and 10 for Greenfield Central on the 40-yard line. So Leslie in the shotgun. Man in motion. It's going to be the handoff to number 29. Tries to get around the corner, and that was Chase Ratliff. Ratliff, who didn't see a carry last week against Eastern Hancock, getting his number called several times here in this first half.
Trying to show different looks. The second game is always a very interesting game because all you are using a one-game sample size basically for your entire game plan. So a lot of people like to do a lot of different things during the second week because they know that the opponent's going to focus a lot on that game one tape.
Loss of one. Leslie pump fakes, fires it. Nice catch. And that was incomplete for number 13, Evan McLaughlin. McLaughlin had the opportunity as he turned around, but then lost it.
I think he must have eyes in the back of his head because he turned around so fast to catch that. I'm surprised. I'm not surprised that he wasn't able to keep in bounds for that because that was quite a spin.
3rd down for Greenfield Central. Ball at the 39. As it's over the middle, complete to 29, Chase Ratliff.
Simple seam pass up the middle, kind of let the defense collapse in, and then a beautiful throw by Leslie.
So Greenfield Central into Bloomington North territory.
I think it's the first time tonight.
As fresh set of downs. Just one receiver, Leslie. He's going to throw again over the middle, and it into double coverage for Chase Ratliff. I liked what Leslie does. I like that he likes to basically go over the middle most of the time.
Also, that was an excellent contest by Bowen Murphy. Almost getting that interception. Kind of just waiting back there, trying to read Leslie and try to go for the interception.
Murphy and Cole Prather back there. 2nd and 10, Leslie goes under center. Or no, shotgun. He's going to get pressure. He's got to roll up, and he's got to get sacked in the blind side by Bloomington North. And now we have a flag as it was Kobe Sterner, number 15, who brings Leslie down from behind.
I was kind of surprised, or I wouldn't be surprised if that was actually like a late holding call because the poor offensive lineman was trying to keep Sterner away by all means necessary, but just couldn't.
As officials still discussing. That's the horse collar tackle on Bloomington North. And that's a 3rd personal foul penalty on Bloomington North in this game.
And unlike the other two, that one is really unfortunate. He had to grab on. He needed to grab onto something because Leslie's about to take off. But it's in there for a reason because you don't want, because that leads to injuries very often. So overall, it's a good call, but unlike the other two personal fouls, that one is a little bit more excusable.
Last week, 3 penalties for 20 yards against for Bloomington North. Columbus East had 9 penalties for 80 yards. So that's something Scott Bliss will talk about later this week. He'll harp on penalties. 1st and 10 at the 30. Leslie back. He's going to roll bottom of the screen, and he throws it incomplete, intended for Mike Hoskins.
I mean, ties.
So 2nd and 10 at the 30.
The receiver's consistently getting 2 or 3 steps on tie. The quarterback just isn't hitting him. We just hopefully that pass doesn't complete. But
so Leslie's going to hand it off to number 16, and he's trying to get out, and another flag. That's Lance McKee with the carry.
The way he fell, might be a face mask. I'm just speculating, just on the way he was tackled.
McKee last week, 3 carries, 33 yards against Eastern Hancock.
Oh, it was a holding on the offense.
Holding against Greenfield Central. As we approach the 10-minute mark here before the half.
Excuse me for missing up on my guesses. I'm getting old now.
Fair enough. It's your birthday. You're allowed a couple mistakes. That's okay. As a 2nd and 20 at the 40-yard line. So Leslie in the shotgun, 1 receiver bottom of the screen, and that's man in motion. Leslie gonna fire it right over the middle to Orlando Mahika, and it goes in and out of his hands incomplete.
That was all on Leslie. He put way too much heat on that pass. Mahika had it was an easy pass to Mahika, who would have gotten a nice chunk of yardage back. However, now we're in a 3rd down and 20-yard position now for Greenfield Central.
As a 3rd and 20, Leslie shotgun, Mahika in motion, flag flies, and it's a nice pass, complete to 22, Mike Hoskins. Bloomington North, number 24, Zynell Nixon, thinks that was incomplete.
There was a flag as soon as the ball was snapped.
Looks like Mahika jumped. And then he was trying to get back, and I don't think he did. And that is against Greenfield Central. Legal shift is the call. As
looks like, I'm guessing they're declining the penalty.
It's a 4th and 14.
no, they counted the play.
At the 34. So Greenfield Central going for it. Leslie, there's pressure. He's got to get out of it. He's going to find a guy. Oh, that's Mahika. And it was just short, incomplete, turnover on downs. So Bloomington North brought the blitz. Leslie had to get rid of it, and they turn over on downs.
And Leslie had the right idea and had the right man, but when you're throwing across your body, it's very hard to get the precise velocity to get the ball to your receiver, and that's what happened in that situation.
So 9:46 to go. Bloomington North.
You got Cougar Pro, strong
leading 7-0, gets it back. 1st and 10, Friel. And that is just over the head, incomplete for number 5, Cade Loffman. So 2nd and 10 at the 34.
That's only the 2nd screen we've seen today. I'm a little surprised. As I mentioned, last year they really utilized the screen pass and then went deep with McCoy. We've seen more passes deep with McCoy than we have screens to this point.
Oh, and Bloomington North jumps offside. That's 48. Isley Nixon. So that's going to back them up 5 yards. As stay tuned at halftime. Have a great halftime feature for you. 2nd and 15 at the 29. Next week, it's Cloverdale at Edgewood as our game of next week. Mustangs and Clovers both 0-1. Mustangs playing Northview tonight. Clovers playing Greencastle. Friel gets a lot of pressure. Nobody sees Friel throw, and it is incomplete.
Very, very fortunate he was able to throw it just to the line of scrimmage, or else it would have been intentional grounding.
So
But that's what I mentioned about Friel. He's talking about he's willing to hold on to the ball as long as it takes to try to throw it. However, he kind of ran out of time and had backpedaled too much.
3rd and 15 at the 29. You start to see both offenses slowing down now, stalling out.
Well, the reason for that is because usually teams have their first drive mapped out, and those plays are more of a scripted event. So usually when the first offensive drives of games usually have a lot better chance of scoring than they do in later drives.
As Bloomington North takes the timeout, you see the Cougars huddling. As this reminder, the Smithville broadcast brought to you in association with McCray and McCray Attorneys at Law, serving Monroe County since 1946. Give them a call at 812-336-4840. McCray and McCray Attorneys at Law. Well, the Bloomington North next week, it doesn't get easier for them. They go to Columbus North next week, and then Bloomington South September the 8th. One storyline, though, for that Bloomington South game is Christian Paycheck, the star running back for Bloomington South, one-time Indiana University commit. He is out until week 5 with an ankle injury that he suffered last week in the game against Brownsburg. So that will be a big story here in a couple weeks when North goes cross town to play the rival Panthers. 3rd and 15. Friel loses it. Picks it up, rolls out, and going to find nobody down the field. Incomplete.
That was very impressive. First of all, be able to pick it up on the run and then, again, get it just past the line of scrimmage to avoid intentional grounding.
So a 4th and 15 and back deep for Greenfield Central. Braden Brown. Now, he had a kick return earlier that was called back because of a penalty. So very dangerous returner. Friel going to kick it away. And it is going to take a bounce. It's going to be down to about the 43-yard line where Greenfield Central will take over. Looking at what Greenfield Central has coming up, they host Mount Vernon, Fortville, then at Pendleton Heights, Shelbyville, New Palestine, at Yorktown, Delta, and at Newcastle. They're in the Hoosier Heritage Conference. They're in Class 5A, Sectional 12. Their conference consists of Delta, Mount Vernon, New Palestine, Pendleton Heights, Shelbyville, and Yorktown and Newcastle. Excuse me. So 1st and 10 at the 43 for Greenfield Central. Leslie, shotgun. He's going to keep it, and he will get out to about the 49-yard line. Leslie not afraid to run, to move, a mobile quarterback.
And he's been on the run for most of this game, whether designed or not.
So a 6-yard gain, 2nd and 4. As we're inside 9 minutes to go before halftime. Shotgun for Leslie. He's going to look, and that is complete to number 10. That is Jacob Vance, a freshman. Last week Vance did not have any receptions, but he was one carry for 2 yards against Eastern Hancock.
It was a really well-developed crossing route, being able to go right in front of the quarterback as where the quarterback was going, so he was throwing just in time with him.
1st and 10. And Leslie is going to keep it and just bowl his way forward to the 35-yard line. So Kobe Sterner and Malik Graham in on the tackle for Bloomington North. And it looks like Bloomington North has called a timeout. So it looks like Bloomington North's called a timeout. They're down to 1 timeout here in the half. Greenfield Central still has all 3 of their timeouts. So while we have a moment, we want to look at Greenfield Central sectional as New Palestine, Zionsville, Anderson, and Muncie Central. New Palestine, a powerhouse up in that area of the state. A new sectional this year for Bloomington South. The IHSAA always realigns after every 2 years. It was Bloomington North and South with the Terre Haute schools. Well, now it is Bloomington North and South with Franklin, Martinsville, and Whiteland. So they get Martinsville back in that sectional, which is always a big rivalry, and add Franklin and Whiteland. They have played Whiteland before in sectional regional competition, and they'll have Franklin as well. So they're in Class 5A sectional 14. 2nd and 9 at the 36 for Greenfield Central. 8:10 to go before halftime. Leslie gonna fire it, incomplete, over the outstretched hands of Evan McLaughlin. Jordan McCoy in on the coverage. 3rd and 9.
The pressure from Bloomington North has really forced a lot of these passes to go out a little faster than they need, than expected, which is why the receivers are turning around so fast.
3rd and 9. So far, the Bloomington North defense has held up. Leslie gonna look, and that is incomplete, intended for McLaughlin again, and it'll bring up a 4th down. So far, I gotta say, Bloomington North is getting the job done, forcing the 3 and outs.
And like I said, it all comes with the pressure. The defensive line is really forcing Leslie to have to throw a lot quicker than he's wanting to.
But they're going to go for it here on 4th down. Leslie bobbles it. He's got a man open, that's 23, and he's going to be short, as that was Orlando Mahica. And once again, Greenfield Central turns it over on downs.
I bet you his coach was really proud of his one-on-one tackling drills right there.
And that was a great job by Bloomington North, as Greenfield Central turnover on downs three times. As Friel is going to hand it off. This is Xavier Trueblood, number 8. And he still is going, but he lost the ball. It's picked up by Bloomington North. 51 saves the day for Bloomington North, Connor Smith.
Basically what happened is that Youngla thought he was tackled, but then when he realized he wasn't and he kept going, he lost control of the ball. Luckily, his lineman there was able to pick it up for him.
Big play for Bloomington North at the 48 of Greenfield Central. 1st and 10.
Power to the boundary.
Friel under center.
There it is.
It will be Trueblood, and he's going to get knocked down at the 45. credit number 31, A.J. Dodds, a senior, with a big hit.
It wasn't a big gain, but if you're watching that play, the offensive line had basically pushed back the defensive line towards the first down marker at that point. That was the linebackers right there who were and the outs and the ends who were able to get back in there and tackle Youngblood for only a gain of 2-3.
Trueblood with the gain of 3, 2nd and 7 at the 45. It will be Trueblood. He gets it to the 40 and gets taken down. And Scott Bless not happy, and a flag flies as he was really after Xavier Trueblood. Or was it the officials? I'm not sure. Personal foul, and it's on Greenfield Central. So that will be a huge penalty on Greenfield Central. So that is going to be an automatic first down. It's going to spot the ball at the 29-yard line.
I don't see any reason why they wouldn't still run power on us.
Bloomington North knocking on the door of the red zone once again.
Mentioned McCoy up at the top of the screen right now, one-on-one.
Yep. Watch for power.
Friel under
Power to
center.
boundary.
And that is a miscommunication run, but he gets inside the 20-yard line as Ben Heitink, as he ran right into Friel when Friel handed him the ball.
That's kind of the danger of running an HB delay. You need to let the play develop before you can go, but then sometimes you kind of run out of room and then you run into each other.
Gain of 4 for Heitink. Ball at the 20, 2nd and 6.
Again, McCoy at the top of the screen with one-on-one.
Jenkins down at the bottom of the screen. Friel's going to hand it off. And inside the red zone is Ben Heitink. So again, a good job by Ben Heitink getting the last 2 carries here and getting Bloomington North a first down. Have been impressed so far with how well Bloomington North has moved the ball in this game.
They have definitely controlled the pace of the game to this point. They have been able to pass and run whenever they on their own terms.
So there is Heitink getting the call again inside the 15-yard line. Turk Vitelli with the tackle. Gain of 1, 2nd and 9 at the 13. As you see, Friel commanding his offense in the huddle.
And you can definitely tell that as multiple years as the starting quarterback, he now has a kind of a mastery of this offense.
Friel back to pass, going to throw it, and it is caught by Jordan McCoy. Or no, they say incomplete. Incomplete.
Yeah, McCoy kind of caught it at the apex, but it was lodged out. And number 44, Turk Vitelli, almost was able to catch it on the rebound for the interception.
So a 3rd and 9 for Bloomington North. Again, the Bloomington North has trying to snap a 12-game losing streak and a 10-game home losing streak as well.
We got a doubles.
Friel, shotgun. Motion for Jenkins, and it's going to be Friel up the middle. He's going to get inside the 5, and he pulls his way down to the 4-yard line. And another flags fly late.
It's going to depend on who this is going to be a huge flag. I don't know who it's on, but just as the play as a whole, it was an excellent job of spreading out the defense and then using the fake handoff. And it's against
Personal
Bloomington
foul.
North.
Personal foul on Bloomington North. Boy, that is one thing if Bloomington North somehow does not hold on, that is the one thing that they can go back and point to that's going to cost them is all these personal foul penalties.
Wildcats in.
So they are in the 20s. Inell Nixon, 24, now in with a possible Wildcat, but Friel still in there. So 4th down and 9 at the 20.
Maybe a halfback pass here.
As some personnel getting on
Wait a
late.
minute. They're kicking the field goal.
As Friel's going to try the field goal here.
You mentioned he was able to make one last week, so he is capable.
So Friel, the junior, the field goal, pressure from Greenfield Central,
Wow.
but it is no good. So Greenfield Central holds their own there. Bloomington North leads 7-0 with 4:23 left to go in this second quarter.
It was a good attempt and had plenty of distance on it. Just was unable to get it between the goalposts.
Yes, had very good opportunity. Greenfield Central came right up the middle, though, with the pressure as well. So Greenfield Central takes over 1st and 10 at the 20. Andrew Leslie, the quarterback, he wears number 5. As he will drop back, he's going to fire complete to number 83. That is Colin Hubble, the senior. Hubble gets his first catch of the year. Did not catch one last week. So Greenfield Central, you see them using more weapons, more options in this game than they did against Eastern Hancock. 2nd and 2 at the 28. Leslie is going to hand it off, and he'll get past the 30 to the 30, but a flag on the play. Braden Brown with the carry.
A name who's been very quiet so far in this game.
Yeah, their leading ball carrier last week, just over 100 yards against Eastern Hancock. And that's a face mask on Bloomington North. This is one thing that both coaches cannot be pleased about is all these penalties on both sides.
Well, considering a face mask is technically a personal foul, that's the 5th personal foul on Bloomington North in this game.
So ball's now at the 36. Leslie is going to hand it off, and this is Braden Brown, and he's going to get our to midfield and a 1st down for Greenfield Central.
Brown's one of those runners. He loves contact. He looks for people that he can hit so he can keep on going.
And and the Greenfield Central assistant coach was telling me before the game that he's a track athlete, so he's just a natural athlete. As you see, a lot of kids, multi-sport athletes, and Braden Brown one of them. So Leslie, and there is Braden Brown right up the middle, and you see him just show no fear going right at that Bloomington North defense.
Yeah, that had no business gaining any yards, but he was able to muscle in 2 extra yards.
Gain of 3, 2nd and 7 at the 47. Greenfield Central now in Bloomington North territory. They still have all three of their timeouts remaining. So Leslie gonna roll out. Screen pass complete to Mojica, but he is taken back to the behind the line of scrimmage. So Norhadi Shirani with the tackle, and a 3rd down for Greenfield Central. I think they're going to rule him still at the 47, so no gain for Mojica. Leslie shotgun. Going to look for a screen to Mojica. It is complete. Mojica gets across the 45, but it is not enough and will bring up a 4th down.
Yeah, this is a very crucial 4th down. I would consider maybe going for it right here.
They still have all 3 timeouts remaining, but they're going to keep Leslie on the field going for it.
On your feet, Bloomington North fans.
Ball at the 43. Here's Leslie. Shotgun. And there is the pass complete to 29, Chase Ratliff, and that will be a 1st down for Greenfield Central.
Excellent job by the running backs to pick up the blitz. We've seen this on 4th down that Bloomington North has continuously gone to the blitz to try to stop it. And right there, that was an excellent job of picking it up to give Leslie just enough time to get to the pass to his receiver.
As Chase Ratliff, another guy getting his name called a lot tonight. Guy that didn't get his name called against Eastern Hancock. Right at the minute mark, here's Leslie going for the corner, and that was incomplete, intended for 83 Colin Hubble.
It looked like the route should have cut to the right, but the receiver, maybe within a battle with the cornerback, just kind of got caught up in it and wasn't able to turn in time, because that looked like an anticipated throw.
As Greenfield Central calls their first timeout of the half, they've got 2 remaining. But you got to credit Bloomington North, because so far in this first half they pitched the shutout, and that was something that they could not do at all last year.
As we mentioned, I think they went 6 weeks without forcing a punt last year. In this game, they've already forced quite a few and also forced quite a few turnovers as well. There has been, as I mentioned, usually losing by 20-something points in your first game isn't a sign of improvement, but the fact that they were able to at least play well in their first game against, I believe it was Columbus East?
Yes.
Columbus East shows how much this team has improved from last year. This isn't the same club that went winless last year. This is an improved ball club.
And that's one thing that Scott Bless talked about here in the offseason, is keeping things positive, and Bloomington North has shown the improvement, because they couldn't stop really anybody on 3rd down last year, and they have done that several times to Greenfield Central in this first half. 2nd and 10 at the 32. Leslie bobbles it. He's got to try to throw it away. It is complete. It's a dangerous pass to Mike Hoskins.
We got another gift.
So a 3rd down for Greenfield Central. But the officials stop play, 3rd down.
It looks like an eligible man downfield, it looks like.
It's against Greenfield Central. So they're going to back him up 5 yards. Will be to the 37-yard line. So it's 2nd and 15. Again, a lot of stoppages here in this first half. Last week, that Edgewood-Mitchell game moved very quickly.
That's what happens when you only throw the ball 5 times in one half.
True, and Mitchell had 12 different guys carry the ball last week in that game.
Oh, that was the final count for that?
As Mojica, he's going to throw a pass. Incomplete. and that was to Evan McLaughlin, number 13, incomplete. McLaughlin had to come back and to it.
He looked like he was playing basketball for a bit, the way he was boxing out to cornerback.
As it's a 3rd and 15 now at the Ford Greenfield Central. Again, stay tuned. At halftime, we'll have a great halftime feature for you. Leslie in the shotgun as Bloomington North was coming with a blitz. Leslie gets it away, incomplete, and almost picked off. As it will now be a 4th and 15 for Greenfield Central.
But again, Bloomington North goes back to the blitz, and they're rewarded as they, again, force the play to go a little bit faster than they intended.
39 and a half seconds left before halftime.
Now, Bloomington North does get the ball to start the second half, so with only one timeout, it'll be interesting to see if they get the ball back, whether they just take a knee or if they try to take a shot down the field.
So Greenfield Central going for it. Leslie, it is complete to Mojica. He reversed his course. He gets to the 30, but there is a flag in the backfield, and now another flag, as I think this is going to be offsetting penalties, because there was some chirping between both teams. So we'll see what the official call is. That is one thing both coaches are going to go in at halftime and not be happy about, is all the penalties on both sides. That is on Bloomington North and on Greenfield Central and going to offset. And that's another turnover on downs for Greenfield Central. Last week against Eastern Hancock, Greenfield Central did have 4 turnovers overall, but they forced the Eastern Hancock into 5 turnovers last week. So a 1st and 10 at the 27 for Bloomington North.
Doubles.
And it looks like the answer to that question is going to be they're going to try to take a shot down the field.
And that is Friel. Jenkins in motion. It will be Friel. He's got a couple blockers, and he gets out past the first down marker toward the 40.
Got the hurry-up offense with only one timeout left.
So they're going to stop the clock to reset the chains. But looks like Bloomington North going to call a timeout here with 24 seconds left to go before halftime. So Bloomington North out of timeouts. Greenfield Central still with 2 left in the game before halftime. So again, it's been, the offense has had the opportunities both ways, but just 1 touchdown so far in this first half.
And as you mentioned it, penalties has kind of prevented it. The most notable one, the 3rd down penalty in the red zone that forced them to have to kick a field goal instead of having a 1st and goal at the 5-yard line for Bloomington North.
So 1st and 10 at the 39. 24 seconds left. You got 4 receivers, 1 in the back. Friel with Trueblood in the back. Shotgun. It is going to be Trueblood. He's looking for a couple blockers. Going to get past the 45 and past midfield for another 1st down. What a run by Xavier Trueblood. Uses his blockers. They're going to move the chains. Now they're going to run the clock. Friel, and he spikes the ball. But he so they spike it, and he fumbles.
Was trying. Yeah, he was trying to hurry up the pass and almost basically fumbled it, able to pick it up and immediately spike it. So looks like we have one more shot to the end zone, and I think we all know who to highlight for this last play.
Second and 10, 40 at the 49. Friel shotgun, and he's going to drop back, and it is almost intercepted by 41 Ian Robertson, the senior. And it was going for Jordan McCoy, as you mentioned, Gwen, number 88. So a third down, so 6 seconds to go. You do get another chance here.
I do like the way they designed that. They did using the stoppage for first down. Again, trying to pick up a nice 15, 20 yards, so you have a shorter field for a final pass instead of having to go for a 50-yard Hail Mary.
At the third and 10, Friel shotgun trips bottom of your screen. There's Friel, gonna roll, gonna fire it downfield, but it's gonna be knocked down by Greenfield Central, incomplete. Looks like 0.9 seconds left. Gonna be a 4th and 10 now. As brings up the 4th down. So one last shot. As Friel's going to go behind center. And it's going to be the handoff to Xavier Trueblood. Trueblood to the 30, down to the 27-yard line. And that will end it for the first half as a positive run for Xavier Trueblood, as Bloomington North goes to halftime with a 7-0 lead. So Bloomington North pitches the shutout in the first half, as you see Nathan Jenkins with a run, and then Ben Friel keeps it and takes it to the house for 6 with the dive at the end. As you see Friel doing a great job tonight running, in control of this Cougar offense. And then, of course, Andrew Leslie, nice job there. But it has been Xavier Trueblood, Nathan Jenkins. It's Trueblood. Whoops, got to have the football there. And luckily, Bloomington North recovers. And we're at halftime. Bloomington North 7, Greenfield Central 0 on Smithville TV. As we welcome you back to Bloomington High School North Dennis O. Martin Memorial Field here in Bloomington, Indiana. Bloomington North leading Greenfield Central 7-0 here at halftime. As we welcome you back to North Cougar football on Smithville TV alongside Quinn Saturday. I am Nick Jenkinson. And Quinn, so far, the Bloomington North defense holding up, and Ben Friel's touchdown run the difference.
Yeah, Ben Friel, when Friel scored that touchdown on the opening possession, we were expecting this to probably be a shootout, but both offenses have stalled since then, or you can go the other way around. Both defenses have tightened up. I've been very impressed with Bloomington North's defense, especially after how much they struggled last year. They have done an excellent job. The one thing, though, I would say for Bloomington North that I'm a little worried is that the fact that it's only 7-0. 6 personal foul penalties in that first half that at least cost him 1 touchdown, maybe a second one along the way that ended. This should be a 2 or 3 touchdown lead for North right now.
As we look at Greenfield Central on the field, one thing, of course, they had a Braden Brown kick return negated because of a penalty, but Andrew Leslie has been impressive, their quarterback, and they have used a lot of options with Orlando Mahica, Chase Ratliff, Braden Brown, a handful of guys so far. But one thing Coach Sherman cannot be happy with, all the turnover on downs they've had in the first half.
And I would include in that the offensive line has also consistently been pushed around by the defensive line of Bloomington North, and Leslie's been under a lot of pressure and has been forcing a lot of throws before they probably should have been passed, causing receivers to have to turn around real fast or be overthrown quite. So the key for Greenfield Central in the second half is to reestablish the line of scrimmage on the offensive line, to control it and not let the blitzes of Bloomington North bother them.
Absolutely. Both teams. Bloomington North, one thing that they have done very well, forced 3 and outs and stopped them on third down. That was one thing last year they could not do at all, and they have done a very good job tonight of stopping Greenfield Central on third downs. As you see, Bloomington North warming up. A couple reminders for you is next week our game will be Cloverdale at Edgewood. Both teams 0-1. Edgewood lost to Mitchell last week 36-7, and Cloverdale lost to South Putnam. Edgewood at Northview tonight. Cloverdale is playing Greencastle, as we will have that game for you next week at 7 o'clock. Also, if you want to get your football fix tomorrow night, head out to Edgewood High School at 5 o'clock as the Indiana Cutters, Bloomington semi-pro football team, is going to take on the River City Buccaneers in the Mid-South Football Alliance playoffs first-round game. That will be 5 o'clock at Edgewood High School. The Buccaneers coming from West Virginia, so a long trip for them. The Cutters, team that I've been involved with all summer long as one of their secretary on the board of directors and also their PA announcer for home games. So I have to give myself a shameless plug here at halftime for that. As if you want to get your football fix, come out.
Strategic plug.
Absolutely. As you want to get your football fix, come out and support the Indiana Cutters tomorrow at Edgewood High School. We got to mention that since we're at Bloomington North, we'll be getting into basketball season here soon. But one guy that we will not, unfortunately, not see this year at Bloomington North is Musa Jallo, because he announced in July that he's going to go to Ohio State. He also announced that he's going to go this fall, meaning he's reclassified from 2018 to 2017. He graduated this summer and is off to Columbus to join the Buckeyes. So a big loss for Bloomington North boys basketball, and new head coach Jason Spear, who takes over the boys from was the girls coach last year, and now it's moved over to take over the boys. So big loss for Bloomington North boys basketball.
Especially since that team was really coming along at the end of the season, and we were kind of excited to see Musa's last season with those young players who were developing around them. Now they're going to have a lot of pressure on them to have to make up for his scoring and rebounding right away.
And coincidentally, Ohio State comes to Bloomington February 23rd. That's the same night as New Albany coming to Bloomington North in boys basketball. So that's an interesting story. New Albany, of course, one of the top teams in boys basketball in the state of Indiana, got the top player in the state in Romeo Langford, who's a top 5 national recruit, the hands-on favorite for Indiana Mr. Basketball. Schools like Duke, Kentucky, Kansas, Indiana, UCLA, Vanderbilt, Purdue, Louisville, all after Langford. So as we are getting ready for the second half, as Bloomington North is going to kick away to begin this second half. So it is taken by Greenfield Central, and this is Orlando Mahica. Cuts back, and he gets past the 35-yard line, so good field position. Start the second half for Greenfield Central.
Also, Greenfield Central got away with, I don't want to say got away with, but it was really close to being a block in the back on the return. But excellent field position. Reminds me a little bit of the kick return that Bloomington North had at the beginning of the game that set up their touchdown drive. So we'll see if that holds to form.
So Andrew Leslie will bring Greenfield Central out on the field for their first series of the second half. He is in a shotgun, 2 receivers. Leslie's going to throw the screen pass, incomplete to Mahika, but there's a flag. Bloomington North says it was recovered. Is a personal foul on the Cougars, on Bloomington North. Again, both teams are the Cougars, so I have to be clear on which one it is.
That would be the 7th personal foul in this game.
Yeah, you're going to keep the ball. Still North ball. Isn't it? Yeah.
And so it is a turnover from Greenfield Central. So a big play to start this game, second half, as the fumble by Mahika recovered by Bloomington North.
Yeah, that's always a very easily forgotten thing, that a backwards pass is considered a fumble.
1st and 10 at the 40.
There it is.
And there is Ben Friel going up the middle. Greenfield Central has had a hard time stopping that run by Friel tonight.
Yeah, Friel's had over 60 or 70 yards on the ground in this game. I think overall, they've had at least like over 150 yards, because young Trueblood has also had quite a few runs.
Xavier Trueblood, one of the top rusher last week. Zynel Nixon now in as Bloomington North going with the Wildcat.
To the boundary. Yep.
Nixon.
There it is.
Going to keep it himself, and he's got a hole up the middle. Nixon cuts back, trying to get to the corner. He does. Touchdown, Bloomington North. Zynel Nixon, 34-yard touchdown run.
I just want to point out that with Nixon, that was a QB option that he was holding out to the running back until the very last second. That was a very, very gutsy play for him, because he left the ball exposed, and if someone could have come in there, that would have been a fumble. But it paid off, because the extra second allowed the defense to shift a little bit more to the right so that he could cut left, and he made the rest of it happen by himself.
So Zynel Nixon puts Bloomington North on the board early thanks to that fumble. Friel's extra point is good, and it is 14-0, Bloomington North on top. So big turnover by Greenfield Central that leads to the Zynel Nixon touchdown run.
So we've had 2 QB option runs for touchdowns so far. We've had 2 QB option runs for touchdowns so far.
So looking again, Bloomington North on the road the next 2 weeks at Columbus North, Bloomington South, back September 15th against Terre Haute North, the 22nd against Perry Meridian, at Franklin Central, then Southport, and then at Terre Haute South to end the season. Last time the Cougars won October 16th, 2015, 21-17 against Terre Haute South, trying to snap that 12-game losing streak. Lost 10 straight at home last time, August 28th, 2015. So almost 2 years ago when they beat Bedford North Lawrence 18-14, a game we had on Smithville TV, as you mentioned, Quinn, that goal line stand to win it for Bloomington North in that game. Onside kick, Bloomington North recovers.
He did not go the 10 yards necessary, it looks like.
No, the officials did not go the 10 yards, so it will be Greenfield Central's ball right at midfield, or at the 44-yard line. I think Bloomington North touched it early is the indication. So here comes Leslie out on the field for Greenfield Central. Down by 2 scores. But good field position. There is the run by Braden Brown, who had over 101 yards rushing last week against Eastern Hancock. No gain, so second down.
Yeah, Brown's been close to a non-factor. I would probably estimate about like 30 rushing yards maybe in that first half.
Still at the 44, shotgun, Leslie. And Mojica in motion. Leslie going to keep it, and he's going to get past the 40-yard line.
This is going to be a huge...
And another flag flies as there was extra curriculars between Zach Kennedy, number 50, and Jared Bramwell, number 42 for Bloomington North. Again, these penalties have killed both teams. Officials taking their time to decide all these penalties tonight, too. And that is the personal foul penalty on Bloomington North. That is 8 personal foul penalties tonight against the Cougars, against the Bloomington North Cougars. And that is something that Scott Bless is going to harp to his team about, I would, all week in practice. So the officials moving him as Greenfield Central knocking on the red zone door now at the 25. Leslie operates the offense. 10-10 to go here in quarter number 3. As Bless still talking to the sideline official.
They're just giving us gift after gift, too.
Major. There's been a lot of stoppages in this game. Again, it was a 7:30 kickoff because of the travel distance between the 2 schools. Leslie, shot, gonna give it off to Braden Brown. Brown pulls his way past the 20-yard line, short of the first down marker. As Bowen Murphy with the tackle. 2nd and 4, gain of 6 at the 19. Play clock at 15. As Leslie gets back to the huddle, or to the shotgun. It's going to be a handoff to Brown. He spins around. Now he gets himself to the 15-yard line.
That was an excellent job by Brown. That was a 2-yard loss that he turned into a 3rd and inches, basically.
That's a gain of 3 down to the 16, 3rd and 1. And we have talked about the 3rd down play, key for Bloomington North. Leslie, Mojica, it's Leslie on the keeper, and he's going to get the first down.
Excellent job. And as I mentioned, the thing that that Greenfield Central needs to do in the second half is control the line of scrimmage, and the offensive line so far, especially on that play, as you saw it, they have seemed to take in control of the line of scrimmage again.
Taking control of the line of scrimmage as it's now at the 13. Leslie will be Leslie. He gets inside the 10-yard line. I think he was looking to hand it off to Turk Vitelli, and he did not. Vitelli did not pay attention.
Many moving parts in the option offense. Always need to be on the same page. Luckily, Leslie is a very capable runner.
2nd down and 6 at the 9. Vitelli in the backfield. And it will go to Vitelli, and he'll just go right up the middle. And he's trying to make forward progress to the 5 and get stopped about the 6. Shirani with the tackle. Approaching 7.5 to go.
This is the biggest play of the game up to this point right now, as this right here, this is the closest that Greenfield Central has gotten.
3rd and 4 at the 7. As you see at the bottom of the screen, Mike Hoskins, 22. He's going to roll. He's going to try to find an open receiver, and that was 29, Chase Ratliff, and that was incomplete. So a 4th and 4 as Cole Prather was on the tackle. Again, another 3rd down stop for Bloomington North.
Another 3rd down stop, but now an even bigger stop right now, as it looks like they're going to go for it on 4th down.
4th and 4 at the 7. Greenfield Central again going for it. Leslie going to throw over the middle, and it's a touchdown for number 22, Mike Hoskins.
You mentioned earlier in the game how comfortable Leslie is in terms of throwing down the middle of the field, and there you had it right there, able to throw it in between 2 defenders to Hoskins in the end zone, and we have a ball game now.
We have a ball game as Hoskins, his 2nd touchdown reception of the year, caught one last week against Eastern Hancock.
Let's go, D. Let's go, man. We got to stop. We're going to stop right here. I know it.
So the extra point attempt from Nathan Brand, number 7, is up, and it is good. So with 7:02 left to go here in quarter number 3, it is now 14-7 Bloomington North. So Greenfield Central responds with the touchdown of their own, Andrew Leslie to Mike Hoskins. As, again, this series tied 1-1. First time these two teams have met in Bloomington. Bloomington North won way back in 1998. As reminder, technology powered by Smithville. You can order a copy of this game on DVD from the technology store. Give them a call at 812-935-8324. Technology powered by Smithville. So as I mentioned, that Bloomington North won way back in 1998. Greenfield Central won 52-35 last year. Both those games in Greenfield, as Greenfield Central also got a new turf surface this year at Clayton Myers Field. They christened that last week against the Eastern Hancock, winning it 28-14. So we have a ball game on our hands, Quinn, here in the mid stages of the 3rd quarter. As Greenfield Central, Brand's going to kick off. As looks like Jenkins and I think Trueblood are back deep. And it's going to be a line drive taken at the 15. And that is Nathan Jenkins. He gets it out past the 30-yard line. So this will be a 1st and 10 for Bloomington North as Ben Friel comes back out on the field.
And this is kind of the game that we were expecting in the first half when we had the first score. Now we're back-to-back scores here. starting to see the defense maybe tiring down, and the offense is catching a second wind.
Trips bottom to your screen. Friel going to throw the quick screen to Nathan Jenkins. Gets a couple blockers past the 40-yard line. Just short of the first down. Bring up second down.
Excellently executed.
And they're going to give them the first down. As
That
they
was an
spot the ball at the 42. That was a pretty generous spot.
It was well executed though on that screen pass. Like I said, I'm surprised at how sparse it's been in this game, because every time they've thrown it, it's been effective.
So fresh set of downs for Bloomington North at the 42. As a flag flies. Delay a game on Bloomington North, push them back. Gonna push them back to the 37-yard line. As you see Bloomington North tonight with the gold helmets, a new look here, kind of the old Arizona State throwback. As Friel gonna blitz coming, but he gets it off complete to Xavier Trueblood at the 40. A flag flies. Trueblood still past midfield, but this will come back. As another official still talking to. That's a hold on Bloomington North. That's going to push them back. Again, it's penalties, penalties, penalties.
Yeah, that was a huge one. That was a perfectly designed trap for the screen pass to draw the first line of the defense in, dump it off to the running back just ahead, and basically make the linebackers and cornerbacks have to play one-on-one drills.
1st and 15 at the 32.
Cougar near to the boundary.
As Friel 1st and 20.
Power.
And that is going to be Xavier Trueblood. He gets past the 35 near the 40. 44 takes him down. Turk Fatelli. So brings up a second down at the 38. Gain of 6. Play clock at 15.
Might be. Wait a minute, no. Power. We're going to see that power read. Power read to the strong side.
Friel going to give it to Trueblood. Or no, it's Friel with the carry. He spins around a couple times, gets to the 40. And now we're going to see Zynell Nixon in the game.
Look for a throw.
This is going to be this is another huge play. If after that nice screen pass, if Greenfield Central is able to stop this drive and get a chance to get the ball with a chance to tie the game, that'd be huge for momentum's sake.
Yep,
3rd and 12. And that is Nixon.
Quarterback throw.
And that's going to be a throw from Friel, incomplete.
Yes.
Intended for Nathan Jenkins, number 9. That's going to bring up 4th down.
Second time we've seen that look, and again, very well executed, but Jenkins dropped it. Then again, it was going to be about like 5 yards short of the first down.
So 5 yards short, 4th and 12, back deep for Greenfield Central is number 6, Braden Brown.
Ready for it. Tie side might be seeing some action.
Friel will punt. That is a Tough snap, high snap.
Get the ball, get the ball.
And that
Damn
is
it.
going to take a nice bounce. Even better bounce for Bloomington North and going to be down at the 5-yard line. What a kick for Ben Friel.
Even more impressive is the fact that Friel almost had it blocked, but was able to just create just enough space to get it off in time.
So backs Greenfield Central, they'll have to start from their own 5-yard line here with 4:02 to go in quarter number 3. Coming up next for Greenfield Central is Mount Vernon, Fortville next week, then at Pendleton Heights, Shelbyville, New Palestine at Yorktown, Delta, and at Newcastle. They're in the Hoosier Heritage Conference. As 1st and 10 at the 5. There is the run for Braden Brown as he gets just past the 5-yard line. Bowen Murphy with the tackle. So 1-yard gain for Brown. 2nd and 9. Approaching 3.5 to go. There's Leslie. He's going to keep it. He's going to kind of bounce outside, and he's going to get hit around the 10-yard line and brought back.
Yeah, it feels like Greenfield Central is just kind of more focused on trying to get out of the shadow of their own end zone at the moment. I probably expect a big yardage play right here.
So a 3rd and 5 at the 10-yard line. Another big 3rd down play coming. Leslie gonna throw it, screen pass complete, but good job by number 6, Cole Prather.
You can tell just from this game that the one-on-one tackling drills have been a success for Bloomington North.
Yeah, they've done a great job. As Nathan Brand is going to punt. And it's going to be, looks like Prather's back there and Jenkins. There is Brand, just gets it off before the play clock expires. Going to take a bounce and be down at the 46-yard line. So Bloomington North going to have an excellent field position once again, as they will take over with 1:53 to go here in quarter number 3. So again, Bloomington North starts the Conference Indiana season next week with Columbus North going to Columbus. Battle of the Bless Brothers. As Tim Bless, Scott Bless's brother, is the head coach at Columbus North.
Who's our outside guy? It's coming. There it is.
So there is
Dang it.
number 8, Xavier Trueblood, gets to the 15-yard line, move the chains as a 1st down. What a run for Xavier Trueblood.
I have been so impressed with Trueblood in this game. He's not only is he very shifty, he's also incredibly hard to take down as well.
A sophomore, so he'll be around for another couple of years. This is one thing. This is a young Bloomington North team. You have Friel as a junior. You have several other guys. Trueblood's a sophomore. Jenkins a junior.
There it is.
And there is Ben Heiting, number 25, and he gets to the 15-yard line. And he's a sophomore as well.
The one thing, though, I will say is the offensive line, though, except for the center, Cole Stantz, are all seniors.
2nd down and 11, loss of 1 at the 16.
The fact that you have 4 seniors and a junior on the offensive line is very important because you have a lot of leadership. And like I said, in terms of controlling the line of scrimmage, it helps to have veteran leaders like that.
as they lost a big leader last year. And Calvin Friel going to the end zone for Jordan McCoy, and he tries to make the one-handed grab and can't get it.
Well, it was a little too far for him.
Yeah, if they were about 5 yards, if the line of scrimmage was about 5 yards back, that would have been a picture perfect.
And that is not a good sign as Jordan McCoy comes up limping, and he's hobbling on the sidelines. A great job by our crew picking that up, as now he has fallen to his knees in the training staff, and now he is on the ground on the sidelines being checked out. So we will keep an eye on Jordan McCoy as
It's 3rd and long. They're not going to pat with it. You never know.
As officials stop play.
Yeah. I mean,
It's
I don't
like
know why
the
not.
officials
they
timeout.
The top on us. They just haven't completed the pass. Wait a minute, Wildcat. They're bringing in 24. So watch that run or that half pass.
As it looks like Zynel Nixon's getting ready to come in. Stop the clock for right now.
11 off the field, so
Nixon comes in, Friel's out.
It's a possibility to be a halfback pass.
As not sure if they're trying to tell the.
I don't think any of these guys have thrown the ball yet. This is going to be your power read. Power read to the field. Here it is.
Looks like some chaos there with the officials.
Wait a minute, they just switched. Did they go to the weak side?
I think they were trying to make sure Jordan McCoy was back on the sidelines.
They have their quarterback on the field. They're not going to throw it.
So now they're going to resume. Nixon now going to take the snap. Shotgun. It is Nixon going to keep it, trying to get a couple blockers, and he's going to get to the 10-yard line.
There was nowhere to go for Nixon on the play. Immediately they stuffed the right side. Excellent job by the defense to immediately sniff that one out.
As the clock continues to run, Ben Friel's going to try the field goal. It looks like they're going to I think he's going to let this run out. We're going to go the 4th quarter. Do not go anywhere. Good game here going on. Bloomington North leads Greenfield Central 14-7. 4th quarter next on Smithville TV.
Smithville has been serving Indiana for nearly a century. Spanning a large portion of Indiana, Smithville Fiber is the gigacity company. Smithville Fiber, the gigacity company.
As we welcome you back to Bloomington High School North, big 12 minutes coming on as the Bloomington North Cougars trying to snap a 12-game losing streak. Lead Greenfield Central Cougars 14-7. Glad that you can join us here for North Cougar Football on Smithville TV. I am Nick Jenkinson alongside Quinn Saturday. Reminder, next week it is Cloverdale at Edgewood, 7 o'clock kickoff. We'll have it for you here on Smithville TV. Friel is going to attempt the field goal. He missed one earlier tonight. So Friel's kick is up. And it is good. And now it is 17-7. Bloomington North leads.
Really huge to make it a 2-possession game. And a 31-yard field goal for Friel.
As last week, Friel hit one field goal against Bloomington North, and the junior, he has shown a lot of poise in this game, been very impressed. Of course, has basically been a starter since his freshman year. He was battling with Trey Wilson, as Wilson then got hurt, got a concussion, and was knocked out, and then decided not to play football anymore. So it has been Ben Friel's team basically since the start, just midway through his freshman season.
We need our where's our middle guy? Where's our center? Where's our center? Who's our fifth guy? Hustle.
So 17-7 here in this fourth quarter. Again, a beautiful night for football. Temperatures in the mid-70s today as week 2 of the high school season here in Indiana.
Watch the ball, watch the ball, watch the ball.
Friel's going to kick it away.
Come on, let's go. Oh, crap.
And it is returned by Braden Brown. And he gets out to the 20-yard line. A injured Bloomington North player, 2 injured Bloomington North players on the field, as number 7, slow to get up, Garrett Bruce. Not sure who the other Cougar is that's on the field. As the training staff out for Bloomington North. And that is 15. That is Kobe Sterner for Bloomington North. So he'll come off for a play, and Greenfield Central will take over.
I will say there are still 3 timeouts, and we just started the fourth quarter. There is still plenty of time to continue with your game plan, continue with running. There's no need to start throwing the ball everywhere.
Both teams have all 3 timeouts remaining. There is Leslie. Pump fakes. Now it's got a man wide open. It's caught. And he's going to go to the 20, to the 10, and that is a touchdown for Greenfield Central, and that is Mike Hoskins. His 3rd touchdown of the night, or 2nd touchdown of the night, 3rd of the year, and a 79-yard touchdown pass from Andrew Leslie.
See, this is why I'm not a coach, because I was saying, yeah, you can still run the ball, but no, you could just go for the home run right there. But excellent job. Basically found a mismatch in the at the back end of the defense and was able to get behind the safety, and that time the one-on-one tackling was unable to be executed by Bloomington North, and we are back to a 1-possession game.
17-13, 2 touchdown passes for Andrew Leslie, both find Mike Hoskins. And it has been Leslie to Hoskins all season long. 3 touchdown passes on the year for the combination of Leslie to Hoskins. And this is, looks like Cole Pierce, number 9, going to kick the point after attempt. It is up and it is good. And it is now 17-14, Bloomington North on top with 11:31 left to go here in this fourth quarter. What an exciting game here for week number 2. Here, the first time we have seen Bloomington North this season, and they have drastically improved from last year.
Yeah, the improvement has been night and day. I mean, even despite the broken coverage on that pass, Bloomington North's defense has been light years better than it was last year, and they'll need that defense to continue doing well now that the offense for Greenfield Central is starting to pick up some momentum.
So 11:31 to go.
He's not bad either.
Again, Greenfield Central came in 1-0, Bloomington North 0-1. Greenfield Central was actually in the top 20 this week in Class 5A, tied for 19th with Seymour. So second top 20 opponent this in 2 weeks for Bloomington North. Last week, Columbus East was number 2. They have moved up to number 1 this week in 5A. So number 9, looks like Cole Pierce going to kick it away. And it is going to be a short kick. It's going to be taken at the 20-yard line. That is 16. Noah Ponce.
Let's go deep.
And Ben Friel will have another chance to get this Bloomington North offense going, trying to protect this 3-point lead.
And as you look up at the huddle, McCoy has not come back into the game yet.
McCoy still on the sidelines. Top receiver for Bloomington North.
It's just straight Cougar. Look for the strong side of the field.
Friel under center.
There it is.
It is going to be Xavier Trueblood, number 8. Breaks a couple tackles out past the 45-yard line, and another flag in the secondary. And that will be 16. That is Noah Ponce. Again, these penalties are just killing Bloomington North. That is something that's a hands to the face call on Bloomington North. And that is just something that Scott Bless cannot be happy about.
And we mentioned that penalties is what kept this game close at the half. And now with both teams playing at an equal level, these penalties are really starting to hurt Bloomington North.
1st and 10 now, or at the 31. It's a 1st and 19.
To the field.
Friel under center. That will be Trueblood, and a good job by Greenfield Central. Stop Trueblood on the run, and now here comes Jordan McCoy into the game.
We got to look for a deep pass here.
3rd and 18, just a gain of 1.
They're taking out a runner.
Zach Good, number 4, is coming in as well.
Potentially right here.
As Friel gets in the huddle, play clock at 10 seconds. They need to get up to the line. Play clock at 5.
Triple. There it is. Here it is.
It's at 2, and they're going to call a timeout. Bloomington North's going to call the timeout. The play clock was running out, and they had to get the timeout before getting the delay of game penalty.
Oh, they got a timeout in?
So that is the first timeout for Bloomington North. 2 remaining, 3 for Greenfield Central. 10-17 left to go here in quarter number 4. But a very entertaining game, both sides tonight for these two schools. Greenfield located about 20 miles east of Indianapolis on Interstate 70, so about an hour and a half trip for Greenfield Central tonight. Just a 2-year contract. These schools basically had to fill holes on their schedules, so they did the home and home, and then next year it looks Bloomington North will pick Bedford North Lawrence back up on their schedule.
Why are we not turning around?
So 3rd and 18 at the 32.
Trips at the bottom and McCoy at the top.
Friel shotgun. He's going to roll.
Flood.
And he's looking, going to fire it to Zach Good.
Oh!
In and out of the hands. Incomplete. And another flag. And it's in the backfield.
This may be roughing the passer.
Friel's indicating that it is. Officials have not signaled yet.
Yep,
roughing the passer on Greenfield Central. So that is a big break for Bloomington North.
But again, we mentioned that Friel is not afraid to get hit, and it's his mentality that lured in the defender. I mean, still the defender had to hit him after he threw the pass, but to hold the ball on long enough to tempt the defender to do it, again, shows the fearlessness that we've been talking about in Friel.
3rd and 3 at the 47. Approaching 10 minutes to go. Nixon, he's going to keep it, but he's going to get possibly brought down, but Nixon gets away and gets the first down, possibly. Unbelievable run by Zynel Nixon. Looked like it was going to be a big loss and turns into a first down.
It felt like the right side of the field kept expanding so that he could continue running and trying to outrun the defenders. But it was an excellent job by him to play the outside and just get enough for the first down.
I think Nixon is down on the side. Yes, he is. He's down on the Greenfield Central sidelines. I see the Greenfield Central players doing the gesture of taking a knee for an injured player. Good sportsmanship. As you now see Bloomington North headed to the sidelines. While we have a moment, we want to thank our crew, all the hardworking women and men behind the scenes here at Smithville TV. Thank you for allowing us to bring you the sights and sounds of Smithville TV Friday night football each and every Friday night. And, of course, high school basketball will be coming up here in November with girls and boys basketball, so looking forward to that as well. So great job to our crew for a job well done each and every Friday night. Nixon is up under his own power as he signals to the Bloomington North crowd.
Yeah, that is the definition of never giving up. He basically had to travel back 5 or 6 yards, but eventually he was able to get that first down.
As we said last year, a few years ago, with guys like Jack Smith, who was the quarterback here, make something out of nothing. Turn nothing into something. That was one of those plays where Zynel Nixon did exactly that. So at the 46-yard line, Friel, fresh set of downs, 1st and 10.
We'll go undefeated if we win all our games.
As Friel, the blind side, he gets sacked. Friel is sacked by number 4, Kyle Morris. Kyle Morris coming from the blind side and took Friel down.
Now, Friel did not see him coming at all. Wasn't lucky that he was able to hold on to the ball.
So ball now at the 48, loss of 6. Just inside 9 minutes to go.
McCoy at the bottom of the screen.
There is Friel, quick throw to Nathan Jenkins. He gets past the line of scrimmage and more. He got the first down out of bounds just past the 30-yard line.
He was hitting that right analog stick a couple of times with all those jukes and jives to get around all those players.
What a great play by Nathan Jenkins. Again, just what we talked about, nothing into something. I mean, unbelievable strength by Nathan Jenkins to get himself the first down. 1st and 10 at the 30. Friel, shotgun. That is the keeper by Friel up the middle, and he gets to about the 27-yard line, or 23-yard line.
And that was a huge stop by Grant DeKaiser, who Friel almost, if Friel gets past him, he's onto the sideline and only has one man to beat to the end zone.
Gain of 6, 2nd and 4 at the 24. Bloomington North knocking on that red zone door.
We got Cougars strong to the field.
Friel under center. And that will be Xavier Trueblood to the 20. A helmet comes off. And Fatelli, that's Fatelli, number 44. He'll have to sit out a play. If your helmet comes off, you have to go to the sidelines for one play. 3rd and 1 at the 21. Approaching 7 minutes to go in this 4th quarter.
Here comes power.
Friel.
Oh, I don't care. I just thought it was funny.
Under center. He's going to throw it for the end zone. One-on-one battle, and it's going to be a flag intended for Jordan McCoy. And that was 28. Jason Gray and A.J. Dodds 31. Dodds went Gray went one-on-one with McCoy. So they're it's up. I guess they're going to call offensive pass interference on Bloomington North. It's the indication. There is some major confusion here. So that is an offensive pass interference on Bloomington North.
I'm very surprised, honestly. I thought that was textbook defensive pass interference because the cornerback never turned around.
So a 3rd and 11 at the 31. Penalties both sides have killed both teams. Friel under center. He's got pressure. He's got to throw it away, and it's intended for Xavier Trueblood. Incomplete. Brings up a 4th down.
Yeah, they went all-out blitz and would not let that screen play develop at all, and that's a huge, huge stop by Greenfield Central. And right now we're at that in-between range right now at the 31-yard line. You're kind of forced to have to go for it at this point because you're not kicking a 48-yard field goal.
No, you don't see that hardly at all in high school football, and they are going to go for it. Fans on both sides firing it up. 4th and 11. Friel. Here comes the blitz. He's got to run. He's got the throw off. Got an intended receiver. Incomplete. Incomplete intended for Nathan Jenkins. Turnover on downs to Greenfield Central. Wow.
That was an excellent job by the corner. Just get a hand right in between the arms of the receiver to knock that one away. And right now, momentum has shifted to the Greenfield Central side as they will get the ball with 6:37 left.
Looks like a timeout was called, or just a turnover on downs. But what a game this has been. 6:37 to go here in this 4th quarter. It is not over yet.
Yeah,
Do not change that dial. This game is still up for grabs. What a game it's been. Leslie operating the Greenfield Central offense. And he's going to fire it to the sidelines, and that is incomplete. And looks like Chase Ratliff with the intended receiver. 2nd down.
I don't even know if that pass would have been completed. I think that would have been out of bounds anyway, but
ball at the 31. And there is Leslie, and he gets sacked. brought down by number 5, Cade Loffman. And Kobe Sterner.
One side effect of that long offensive drive, even though they didn't score, they gave their defense enough time to rest, and it seems they have a second wind here in this fourth quarter to reestablish the line of scrimmage.
3rd and 14. Approaching 6 minutes to go. Man in motion. Leslie going to roll out, going to go to the sidelines. He's going to get toward the first down marker, and the ball went loose out of bounds. Where will they spot the ball? Don't think he gets he does not get the first down. It's going to be a 4th down for Greenfield Central.
Yeah, they're going to put that well short.
So at the 38, fourth and 3. A lot of confusion, and it looks like Greenfield Central is going to take a timeout. So both teams have 2 timeouts remaining with 5:09 to go. So 2-2, 2 timeouts each for both teams. So as we reset here, 5:09 left, 2 timeouts for both teams. You look at Greenfield Central with their coach Adam Sherman in his 2nd year, a guy with college coaching experience, spent some time at Marion University, NAIA powerhouse in Indianapolis. And Scott Bless, a veteran coach, been here for his 13th season, won 2 sectional titles in 2010 and 2013, 2010 regional championship. 4th and 3. At the 38, North fans fired up. Leslie gonna throw it. It is tipped incomplete, and Bloomington North takes over. What a stop by the Bloomington North defense.
As I said, the defensive line had reasserted itself in that drive. An excellent job of pressure, and they always say, get a hand up. You never know how high the ball is going to be. If you just put your hand up, maybe you'll be able to block it, and that's what they were able to do.
A big block for a big stop for Bloomington North. Approaching 5 minutes to go. Friel gonna get the toss to Xavier Trueblood. And now the clock is the friend for Bloomington North.
This is basically the formula right now for Bloomington North to walk away with this win. No more personal fouls and no more turnovers. As long as they can avoid those 2, they should be able to win this game.
And keep the ball on the ground as well. 2nd and 5.
Same formation. Strong to the
Friel under center.
Going away from your sideline.
Play clock at 5. It is going to be a handoff to Xavier Trueblood and a shoestring tackle by Turk Fatelli.
So I have to give a lot of credit. Trueblood really was breaking tackles, was breaking Greenfield Central tackles all game, but in this fourth quarter and in the second half in general, they have really tightened up and locked down and not let Trueblood break their tackles.
Ball is now at 34, 3rd and 6, but the clock continues to run.
Hey, there's your power read right here.
Approaching 3.5 minutes. There is
Yes!
Friel. He gets sacked back at the 40-yard line. So a big stop for Greenfield Central, and that brings up the 4th down.
Yeah, it looks like Friel kind of stumbled on the way there as he's checking his shoe, not letting him get his footing and pretty much messing up the entire rhythm of the play.
And Greenfield Central called a timeout. They have 1 remaining, 2 for Bloomington North, 3:21 left in this game. As a reminder that next week we will have Edgewood and Cloverdale for you at 7 o'clock kickoff, as both teams in that game 0-1. Edgewood playing at Northview tonight, Cloverdale playing Greencastle. As next week, of course, Bloomington North at Columbus North, and Greenfield Central at home to Vernon of Fortville. So 3:21 to go here. Friel came up a little gimpy there, but this is too big a game for him to come out on. Too big a play here so late in the game. As we'll look at the scoring recap here, Bloomington North had a 32-yard touchdown one from Ben Friel to make it 7-0. And then Zynel Nixon, 34-yard touchdown run. Then Leslie to Hoskins, 2 TD passes and a field goal from Friel is where our score is at. Here we go, 4th down. Friel gonna punt. And it is shanked, and it's going to be out toward about the 26. So Greenfield Central will take over, has 3:09 left to operate this offense. 17-14. What do you expect here with Andrew Leslie in this team? I expect a mixture. I expect a lot of pass run combination.
I expect 80% pass with a little bit of 20% run to mix in there. You do only have 1 timeout left.
1 timeout left. There is Braden Brown, 21, their big play running back, who had over 100 yards rushing last week against Eastern Hancock. As we are inside 3 minutes. 2nd and 5 is a gain of 5 for Brown. Gain of 6. We're going to go no huddle. Leslie got to fire it down the sidelines. Got a wide open man, and it is complete.
But there's a flag on the play as well.
Mike Hoskins with the reception, and that is a 1st down, and it's at the 35-yard line. But a flag on the play. So the officials discussing a lot of stoppages in this game tonight. Flag was waved off. Flag waved off. So 1st and 10 at the 35. 2:18 to go. And
match quarters, yeah.
as Leslie going to hand it off. There is the sweep. That is Chase Ratliff, 29. He gets pushed out of bounds. So clock stops, which is good for Greenfield Central. It's what they have to have.
Oh, it looks like there's a flag.
Another flag.
Oh, there it is right there at the 30-yard line.
As It is on Greenfield Central.
That was a huge play because that got it within the red zone, and that pretty much opened up the entire playbook.
That is one thing I'll be curious to see tomorrow in the box score was how many actual penalties have been called, because there's been a ton in this game. So 2:01 left here. Again, next week it is Cloverdale at Edgewood. 2:01 to go. Again, we thank our crew for bringing you the sights and sounds, of high school football each and every Friday night. A great job, as always, the hardest working crew around, as we thank you for everything that you do. Again, officials still discussing. And it looks like they're moving the chain crew on the far side. Again, Bloomington North, a 12-game losing streak on the line. Their last win, Terre Haute South, 21-17, October 16, 2015. 10-game home losing streak on the line last time. That was, they won Bedford North Lawrence 18-14 in August 28, 2015.
Wait, August 28th?
So almost 2 years ago.
18-14.
Yes.
That's very eerie right now, and they would need a goal line stand again to win a.
Looks, yeah, that's where it's coming down to at this point. Now the officials mark them back to the 40. So a 1st and 15 at the 40. So we got 2:01 left. See how well Leslie operates this 2-minute offense, 2-minute drill. Clock is running. And Leslie with the keeper gets a couple yards. Now they got to hurry the guys back to the line of scrimmage. They have one timeout remaining. As Leslie checking his play card on his wristband. He's going to drop back. He's going to look. He's going to roll. He's going to fire it, and it's incomplete. Wow, wide open. And Chase Ratliff, 29, drops it wide open.
Yeah, that was a huge drop. To be fair, Leslie really fired a bullet in there, so I think quite a few people would have a hard time trying to catch that, but still a very tough drop. And now they're at a 3rd and long.
3rd and 14 at the 39. Bloomington North fans fired up. Greenfield Central fans that made the trip down fired up. Leslie gonna throw, fires over down the middle, incomplete, intended for 22 Mike Hoskins, and now it is 4th down. 1:10 left to go.
That was a very dangerous pass in the first place. There were at least like 3 Bloomington North jerseys around that one receiver.
Fourth and 14. This is it. The big.
Man, the Bloomington North student section is actually so noisy that our cameras are shaking.
And there's a timeout for Greenfield Central. They are out of timeouts now with 1:10 left. So 1:10 left to go. You see Bloomington North in the huddle. Scott Bless and his crew, what a great job they have done tonight. This is a totally different team from last year. 0-10 last year, and poised to get their first win of 2017 and snap this 12-game losing streak. So 4th and 14 at the 39. And there is both teams. Fans are into it. A good crowd on hand tonight. And here we go. Mojica in motion. Leslie got to fire it up. Breaks the tackle. Going to throw it. It is incomplete. And it is Bloomington North ball.
First of all, excellent job by Leslie to break that tackle and give his receiver a chance. But number 24, Zynel Nixon, the guy who was very clutch earlier in the game and is also responsible for a touchdown, with a huge pass deflection that may have just sealed the game for Bloomington North.
And it is now 1:02 to go, 1st and 10. Greenfield Central out of timeouts. So victory formation coming. And that is, they're going to take the victory formation. They may have to do it one more time, but the losing streak is over. The losing streak will be over for Bloomington North, as they're going to snap this 12-game losing streak, snap a 10-game home losing streak, and our first win we have seen in a while here on Smithville TV as well. And now there's a flag, I think a celebration penalty. And it's an unsportsmanlike conduct on Bloomington North.
Add another personal foul.
That is, how many tonight? 9? Wow, that is just unheard. 9 penalties on Bloomington North.
No, not 9 penalties, 9 personal
foul
fouls.
penalties. Yeah, unbelievable. That is unbelievable for Bloomington North. As it's going to be a victory formation, and they are going to run this clock out, but it looks like both teams, and Bloomington North is fired up. Their 12-game losing streak is over. Bloomington North is going to be victorious 17-14. The 10-game home losing streak is over as we look at the highlights. As you see Zynel Nixon racing around, and he gets to the end zone. And you see Andrew Leslie 1-2 to Mike Hoskins' touchdown. As you see that Bloomington North defense coming up big, and a lot of this. Xavier Trueblood with the run. Big run for Xavier Trueblood as Leslie drops back and finds a wide open Mike Hoskins, and he races to the end zone. His second touchdown of the night. Friel gets it to Nathan Jenkins as he just powers his way past the first down marker. As the streak is over, Bloomington North wins 17-14. As we thank all our hardworking women and men behind the scenes for Quinn Saturday, I am Nick Jiggetson. Good night from Bloomington North.